This is Musicians Forced Podcast. I'm Mikey. That's Brandon.
Yo.
Hugh behind the camera. We're doing this to push the algorithm on YouTube and all that jazz. So do like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Smash. I can't get right into this story. We got to talk about something. We'll talk about practice, how you've been a little creative little elf upstairs writing songs that nobody's ever heard before. And he's like, he just started playing something last night. I'm like, damn, I don't recognize that song. Is that a cover? Because he was playing that slower one.
Yeah.
Just playing it like it's been done forever.
Well, he started singing it, and I was just like, I was expecting
It's a catchy
someone else
tune.
to jump in on it.
I was like, oh, that's got to be a Marvin tune or something.
I wrote that a couple weeks ago, and I've been playing it like every day.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
I haven't been
writing.
much.
I've been on a kick, dude. I've been on a kick writing.
Hell
So,
yeah.
I got a couple other things too, but yeah.
Dude,
So-
that is so refreshing, though, because I know not everybody has that to where sometimes I'm a writing fool. I got ideas coming to me. Every once in a while I have melodies coming to me, stuff like that.
I was on a dry spell for a while.
Sometimes you hit a dry spell,
Yeah.
and I'm just
I hate it.
I'm zoned out, dude. I'm just trying to survive daily life and $5 eggs and got to go to work and your email and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And you just don't have time for creative juices. So it's nice that everybody contributes different kickoff points
I gotta
and
tell
things
you,
of that nature.
That song, the second one that we really messed with for a while last night, I was so happy that everybody just kind of started jumping in because I didn't know if it was going to make it as a band song. I know it is now because I could tell everybody liked it just enough to start adding to it. And it reminded me of when we wrote All You Need.
Yeah.
It just kind of came together.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, good. This is going to be a Hayfield song.
I know you had more words for it already,
Mhm.
and that's why I wasn't trying to write
Yeah.
anything to it until I know what you have.
Yeah. Actually, both of them. I want to, you guys liked the other slow one too.
Hell yeah.
And so, and then right then I was like, I'm going to have material on the next album. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I'm just, as long as
you
I
have
got,
some now
I
on
know.
the first one.
I have a ton on the first one.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
talking about,
You want to make sure you're contributing
yes.
constantly.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah. And since I've been on such a dry spell for such a long time, then I'm like, okay, I know that I've solidified.
Yeah.
On the next album, I've got some material on there.
I feel already relieved for the next album because I've got a major hand in favorite songs and Back to You.
And those three, or was it 3 or 2 we wrote in Michigan?
Yeah,
Three.
3. Those are good songs, dude.
Yeah, we can't let them go.
We need to bring those back. And if you take favorite songs, and what's the other one?
Right Back to You.
Right Back to You. Then the 3 in Michigan.
To the Brim. Keenan's was called Old Desires.
Yeah.
And then Leviathan.
Yeah, the Leviathan one is the tits.
Yeah. And so then the 2 new ones I got, that's 7 right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Already.
cooking, dude. We're
So
cooking.
Yeah.
I'm excited that you guys liked that.
Yeah,
It was cool.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I instantly thought was cool about this band was that there isn't just one writer who comes
One
in,
avenue of creation type thing.
or even
Here's what I need you guys to play this week.
or even
Yeah.
some bands are more collaborative, but it's still I write the music, I write the lyrics.
Yeah.
Where here in this band, I've seen it where you've come with lyrics and maybe a melody like Brother, you kind of hummed it and we figured something out. Sometimes Chris just starts going on a riff and we jump in.
Or Brandon's got lyrics, or
sometimes
Keenan's got a whole song idea.
Yeah, Keenan's got some. Brandon, you've brought in songs that were, done from start to finish, and then we just kind of picked them apart and made Hayfieldified them.
Yeah, right.
But it's cool. It's refreshing because it's never the same. It's like if a song starts to form, it either ends up in what we call the boneyard, where maybe we'll pick it up later, or it just kind of blossoms into something that night. Like last night, you were just Graham jumped in on something on the drums, and you were like, "Oh shit, you did the thing I was going to ask you to do," and I thought you might not want to do it, and Graham just instinctively knew what you wanted to do.
Did exactly what I wanted to.
Shuffle. It had a Southwest shuffle.
And he did it.
Yeah.
He heard it too. And so he did it. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that shows that
It's
like,
nice when you can communicate like that.
your band felt what you were trying to get across.
Yeah.
You didn't say shit. You
Chris
just started playing.
doing that gypsy jazz shit over the top of it, and I was
Yeah.
like, "That's exactly what I wanted."
And your ragtime
that
type
ragtime
solo.
lead
Oh
thing.
God, dude.
See, all those pieces and parts. It's everybody felt that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like we're able to communicate without even talking.
And it was that is so weird because when we first signed the record deal.
Mm-hmm.
And our producer asked us, "Hey, send me the original versions of your songs. You know, you sent me some demos. Send me the very first draft. That way I can hear what it sounds bare bones,
right,
to give you some notes or figure out where it goes." And we're all just kind of looking at each other like, we don't have that. We have like the first couple notes that Chris played before we all jumped in and looped it for a half hour. But there was no like
one person bringing here's the song.
Yeah,
guys.
I mean, you could have done that for like Charlie and showed him like an old acoustic version, but aside from that, it's there are no just like, hey guys, here's the song and we're going to finish it now as a band.
Yeah. If you can get away with it, creating like that as a group on the fly, there's just nothing like it.
There's nothing like it, and it's very, very rare. What we have is super rare.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, this is how it goes.
I had no frame of reference.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been in a bajillion bands my whole life, and you guys have heard me say this before, but I've only ever had that one other time in my life. That was with Crazy Marvin in the late 90s, where everybody contributed, and it was like a family. It was like a brotherhood. You know, everybody got along, and we were homies. And then I played in a million bands from there until now, and this band is just like that, but even better.
I think it gives our catalog of songs a more unique personality because it's not coming from one point of view in the world. So you've got weird, jumpy, bouncy songs, and then you got these slow jams, and you got all this weird shit that you wouldn't think it fits together. But I mean, subjectively, when I listen to our stuff, it all sounds like us.
I think so too.
The way I see it in my head is, if we wrote it together, it's us. You know what I mean? Like
very simplistic, and it makes total sense.
Yeah. Like it's a far jump to be like, well, the Beatles. You know, like you know, I'm not going to compare us to the Beatles, but
as far as song variety, you do have a point.
Yeah. Look. They never said, we can't do some weird psychedelic bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, that's not who the Beatles are. The Beatles were like, we're whoever the fuck we say we are.
Look at Hold My Hand, Let It Be, and Yellow Submarine. For just 3 songs.
Yeah.
Look at the difference in those songs.
Yeah. And that's before you get into fucking Revolution Number 9 or all that shit. Like, they had such a wild thing, and it was just like, they were musicians who liked writing stuff, and whatever they said was a Beatles song was a Beatles song, and like it or not.
Our next album is I think it's gonna sway much more like soulful.
It sounded like that for now.
But
who
and then
fucking
again,
knows?
like last night, that bop you had, that wasn't.
That had
that
like that. The chorus was like
it was pretty
in a major key and like
pretty heavy.
Yeah, almost punk, but not
it's
quite.
It's a little punk.
Yeah.
And
if
you
honestly, I would put it next to What the Hell.
If you take a fucking
as
kind
far
of
as
a
stylistically
walking beat like the shuffle like that, speed it up and put distortion on it, it is punk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, it had like Graham was able to jump right into that.
Yeah,
that's his wheelhouse.
I knew he was gonna like that part.
Yeah, but I mean, the same thing with. I mean, it didn't make it to the vinyl because we had to cut one song. But I mean, Lay Me Down. Like that song is wildly different from all of our other stuff, especially considering you don't sing on it.
Yeah,
but
true.
It came
I
from
think we'll
Hayfield.
put that one out next.
Yeah.
So you got ideas for videos and things like that. So we'll have that cooking.
Yeah. We've got the lyric video. I don't know if I told you, Chris is doing a forward for it. So we're actually gonna have a forward in the children's book.
Oh, really?
Where he gives a little explanation to what the song's about, and then Grant is going to print us some little 6-inch versions of it that we could use as like giveaways or keepsakes or something at the merch table.
Wow,
that's actually a children's book based on a slow jam.
He's making the small children's books.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I've got the big one that we're using for the lyric video, but he was telling me
get one of those to your mom.
Oh yeah, my mom was bawling her eyes out when I just showed her the sample that I filmed with Elida, and my mom was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, wait till you see the
she would love the
mother and daughter reading it together. It's gonna be a fucking tearjerker."
Yeah, for real. But as that song should be.
Yeah,
I want that to really like reach some people and they feel it, because I think Chris deserves that for that song.
Yeah, because he cleans the fucking kitchen counter when we're on the trips.
No, you know what I mean, dickhead. Good job, Chris.
We go on a songwriting trip to Michigan every summer in June, and we've been doing that for about 6 years or something like that. But anyway, Chris only went one time. The rest of the time, it's been just the 5 of us because he can't ever get off work. So the first time that he went to Michigan, I'm like the band cook. I cook for the band. Like I grill shit, whatever.
Best at it.
It's fucking inferno in there, dude.
And so I am cooking all weekend. And yeah, I got one. I'm cooking all weekend, and then it's the day to leave, and we're getting up and getting everything cleaned up or whatever. Well, I'm cooking, and I'm doing dishes the whole time too, because I just do that when I cook.
The whole week. You're cleaning
4 or
up
5
after
days. However long
us too, not just yourself.
Yeah, I'm cleaning everything up, cooking everything. Because
Band dad.
I like being in the kitchen. Anyway, so the day we're leaving, we're getting all cleaned up and shit, and Chris makes his way down to the kitchen. He gets a wet rag and he's wiping the counter down and shit. I don't remember who said, if it was Graham or somebody, but like somebody was like, "Oh man, Chris, thanks, man. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for cleaning up the kitchen." And then I think somebody else said something about it too.
Just
and
like a slow head turn, like, what the fuck?
I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Motherfucker, I've been feeding you 3 meals a day at least and cleaning up all the dishes for fucking 4 or 5 fucking days. And Chris comes down here with a wet rag for 5 minutes and all of a sudden he's a fucking angel? He's a saint?" Anyway, he gets away with whatever the fuck he wants. I look right in the camera and say it to you, Chris. He gets away with whatever he wants, and he knows it. This motherfucker came to Michigan on our Michigan trip after what, one practice?
One practice.
I think it was one practice. Yeah.
Yeah, he came one
Practice.
practice.
Practice. It was just like, hey, come over and jam.
He came over, he jammed, he threw some shit to it. Then we talked about Michigan. And in fact, I remember being in the garage before Hugh came out into the garage and talking about should we invite him to Michigan.
Right.
And it came pretty quickly, like, man, fuck it. Like, he's not coming back anyway.
Right.
This dude's never coming back. Might as well invite him. And then, so he had been over there one time, and then we were like, shit, hey, man, we're going on this trip in a couple of weeks. We're going to Michigan in June or whatever. Man, if you want to come, we're just going to jam right.
Yeah, I'm down.
He's like, yeah, I'm going. I'll go. We're like, what?
Like, what? Nah.
And then I remember being worried about it, like, because we didn't know
And
him.
he called. He's like, I talked to my wife, and yeah, I can go.
Yeah. We were worried about it because we were like, we don't really know this dude. Like, what if he's a square? Like, what if he's a stiff? Like,
We did think you were a square.
we didn't know, dude.
Yeah.
We had no idea.
I was
He had his
Coming from
PR face on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't know you at all. And we know
Right.
we're kind of scummy. And like,
Yeah.
so like, I remember thinking, like, we talked about it a little bit. Like, man, what's he going to think of us? And I remember even saying shit like, are we even going to be able to like unwind and be ourselves there?
right. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be like,
And dude,
we're going to
the
do the prayer
first
circle
fucking-
this morning.
You
right?
guys could not swear so much. Thanks.
Right. Yeah,
The first morning, I got up after, because we got there late, drank some beers and hung out and talked and shit. It was fun. And the next morning, I got up. I had to have been 8 o'clock or anyway, and Hugh's downstairs drinking a beer.
Like, when in Rome.
He was also the last person to go to sleep
Yeah.
the night before.
Every night.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus
Christ.
Christ, this guy's an
Yeah.
animal. And then, that whole weekend, we just fucking, we had a fucking ball, dude.
It was a good time.
Yeah, man.
We're eating meat. We're drinking beers.
so
we're
fun.
using slurs.
And I think by the end of the weekend, we were saying, dude, Hugh's a scumbag like the rest of us.
Yeah.
He really is. Now I've been to his neighborhood. I know where he's from.
Now you know why. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. I trust this guy.
We got the cops called on us
Mm.
because we were screaming the word butthole into the microphone
That's
at
true.
like 1 a.m. We were having a good time.
We're not totally mature.
And there were people Near enough. We thought we were kind of isolated.
But we were singing it through a PA system on a lake. So
Yeah.
With all the windows open.
yeah.
But we heard somebody come into the door, and my prank happy ass, who had already jumped out and scared the fuck out of you.
Motherfucking hot
God
sauce.
damn it! Fuck! Fuck! Goddamn poltergeist!
And Keenan a couple of times.
Blowing loads on my hot sauce feet.
I was just like, shut all the lights off in the house.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump out at whoever this is. And then as I'm lurking in the hallway, I hear like, yes, officer. And I'm like, oh, I could have died.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Pause
Dude,
that right there. Think
What's funny is I'm going to jump out at whoever.
That's what I was going to say. Think about that. We're in the middle of nowhere in the woods at a cabin in Michigan, and Hugh's thought is,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Dude.
scare the shit out of whoever's beating on the door.
That makes more sense than what I thought because I didn't know the jump out at somebody part. I thought he ran and turned off the lights like nobody's here. Like, oh, nobody's home.
I was trying to get a strategic advantage.
Yeah, on the cops.
Dude, the first thing I'm thinking is, it's 1 a.m. We're in the middle of the
On a
forest.
private lake.
On a private property in Michigan, in the middle of fucking nowhere. Somebody's beating on the fucking door.
Time for booga booga booga
Yeah,
booga.
that's horror movie shit. That's not fucking. I'm
You're about
scaring
to fit
these
the
people.
description real fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like Friday the 13th type shit, and he's gonna scare him. He's
Yeah.
scaring Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, that was, I mean, that's more you than I thought. He was like, nobody's here, officer. Click, all the lights off. Like, we went to bed. We went to bed. We'll be good. Bye.
Yeah, immediately like going from just heavy guitar to silence, and they're like, they must have all fallen asleep in unison.
It's fine. I'll wait it now.
Yeah.
They start listening. You hear, me, 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 me.
I forgot that the cops came to that place.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
time.
fun. That was a good time.
You
Yeah,
would never
great.
guess.
Till next time, this was Musicians Force Podcast by Harlem Hayfield.
Yeah.
Mikey, Brandon, Hugh.
Yo.
Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, comment, share, all that stuff.
Like that.
And we'll
Engage with the content.
Engage with the content.
Activate the algorithm for us.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Peace.